So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my staple routine, and it was basically inspired by a couple different things. The main one was a DM that I got recently in my Instagram, and I'm not going to read the whole entire message, but the gist of it was, how do I know which brand works for me and my skin? Because I keep switching and trying new ones. So I do want to address that issue in terms of knowing what works for me when I am sent new products. And then the other issue I want to talk about, and let's just jump into this right now, is I do feel somewhat of a responsibility in terms of you guys when I am endorsing products, recommending products, and that responsibility if you do go out and buy something that I have recommended and you've spent your hard-earned money on it and possibly, it doesn't work out for you. So I just want to say that take care in terms of your own money and don't buy something that you don't feel like you can afford. I know a lot of the products that I do recommend are on the high end. They do cost a lot of money, and you don't need as many products as I have. I mean, obviously that is just, I feel like that's a given, and I don't want to say that I'm like super careful with my money. I mean, obviously I do buy more than I need. I receive more than I need, but this is, for me, this is definitely a hobby. It's a pastime. It's something that I enjoy, and it brings me, it's a passion of mine. I really enjoy trying products, and I enjoy researching products, and I really enjoy reviewing them, not only for myself, but for you. But having said that, I also am in a position in my life, I'm sure I'm a lot older than a lot of you guys, and my husband and I are in a position financially where I can afford to buy these extra products that I don't necessarily need. We don't buy fancy cars, and we don't, buy a lot of things that we don't need. We don't buy like high-end electronics or whatever else, people might spend their disposable income on. My husband doesn't buy a lot of like expensive stereo equipment or, whatever else, like I said, whatever people would spend their disposable income on, we just don't spend a lot on extra stuff that we don't need. So, I guess, and the other thing I wanted to mention too is in terms of money, just putting it out there, you want to be careful with your money. You want to be smart with your money. You want to be putting, even if you're super young and in your 20s, you want to be putting money towards retirement. You want to be putting money in a savings account, a Roth IRA. Since we first got married, we've been putting money into retirement. Since we had our children, we've been putting money towards their college education. So I am not frivolous with my money, and so I just wanted to put that out there in terms of being smart with your money. If you can't afford something that I am recommending, please don't buy it. I really don't want to enable anybody to get into credit card debt. We pay off our credit card bills pretty much every single month. I have been in credit card debt. I got into credit card debt when I was in college, and I worked really hard to get out of it. So yeah, I just really want to put it out there that I want you guys to be smart with your money, and I would just really hate to think that I am promoting frivolous spending where you can't afford it. So I think this is the mom in me coming out. We really promote wise spending with our boys, and I feel like I just need to put it out there into the world that, these are beautiful products, and I love them, and I love experiencing them. But at the same time, I don't want anybody getting themselves into financial ruin over feeling like they need the latest and the greatest in green beauty. So then that kind of gets back to the original question that someone DM'd me with. And my answer to her was that I do have a staple routine. I really have products that I use over and over and over again that I love, and that is just sort of like my core routine. And then if I am contacted by a company and they ask me if I'm interested in trying their products, a lot of times I'm not, and I just say no thank you. But if it seems to align with my values and what I'm about, I will say, you know, I will go and look at their product selection, and I will only say, you know, I will only have them send me possibly what I need or what I am truly, truly interested in. I do not want to have someone send me their entire product line because I just think that's wasteful. And or if it's just something like a new product, or they're doing something different, something interesting that I am interested in, and I also think that you guys would be interested in, then I will have them send me that. And I have no problem with being sent, you know, smaller sizes. I don't need to be sent full sizes. So that's kind of where I'm at when I'm trying a new product. And then of course I do have affiliations with certain products, or, you know, certain lines. And then of course, if they are coming out with a new product, they're going to send that to me to try out. And so that's kind of how that works and where I'm at with that. So getting into the staple routine that I have, usually in the morning, I don't wash my face with any type of a product. I usually just splash my face with water. If I do feel like I need to use some sort of a product, I will usually use a cream cleanser. And I've just got several of those going right now. I haven't really decided on my, you know, core staple cream cleanser for the morning time, so I'm not gonna be talking about that. So, and for the most part, I just rinse my face off with water. So that's where I'm at with that for morning time cleansing. And after I cleanse, I'll use a toner. And right now I'm just really loving the Andalou Toning Refresher. It's the purple bottle one. It's very reasonably priced. It works really well. It's got humectants in here, and I'm not going to delve into ingredients at all. I'm just going to do like quick overview. And I really love it. So I use a toner. For the most part, I don't always use a toner. This morning I did not use a toner. I just went straight in with my favorite, the Mala Apothecary Primavera Treatment Elixir. This is their vitamin C based treatment elixir. So I use this almost every day. I'm gonna reach for the Primavera or something that's very similar to it, that's sort of like an emulsification that has the water base with some oils in it. So something like maybe the Ambrosia from Earthwise Beauty is really similar to that. And I just really like that texture, sort of that emulsification of the water and the oil together that's kind of light and just penetrates the skin really easily. And then I'm gonna go in with my SPF. And I find that this one from Juice Beauty, which is their Mineral Moisturizer Sheer, has an SPF of 30. Over the summer, just this by itself has been enough for moisturization. Now in the winter, I'm probably going to need a little bit more. So what I'll do is take an oil, and I love the Natural Logic Phyto Nectar Radiant Serum, put a couple of drops of this on my skin, and then put the SPF on top of that. So this has been a great combination as it's starting to get a little bit colder, a little bit drier in the air. What I also did over the summer is I added a couple drops of the Ilia True Serum, True Skin Serum Foundation. I would just add a little drop or two into the SPF, the Juice Beauty SPF, and I would mix these two together, and this created just a wonderful like tinted, you know, SPF situation, because this does not have SPF in it. And what I want to say too about all these products that I just mentioned is they're all really reasonably priced, especially the Andalou toner. The Juice Beauty SPF is really reasonably priced. For me, I think that the Mala is very well priced for what it is. There's such quality ingredients in here. So this is really reasonably priced. And I would also say that I think Tony's products for Natural Logic are really, Tony is the owner and creator of Natural Logic, the formulator. And then, you know, the Ilia isn't super cheap at all, but you can get this at Sephora. They'll probably be having their 20% off again really soon in the fall, or coming up here. It already is the fall, but in November. So I just wanted to make sure too that I was picking some products that are also reasonably priced, since we were just having that conversation about money and being smart with your money. One thing I wanted to add is I am very much a code person. I will wait and use codes. Shop at Pharmaca, do the 20% off at Sephora, which is something that I'm going to be talking about here in just a second, because this is my morning routine. And then my evening routine, what I do like to use is either an emulsifying oil cleanser is one of my favorites, and this is from Kahina. And this is their new oil cleanser, which I adore. This is not going to be a inexpensive cleanser. I think, I can't remember exactly what the price is on this. It's maybe just under 60 or just over 60, so quite expensive, but really good quality ingredients. And again, this might be something you want to keep your eye out on for, you know, either Credo or Detox Market or one of those types of places that, you know, maybe has a 20% off coming up here soon. The other thing that I like to do in the evening is use a non-emulsifying oil cleanser, and this one is from H's for Love. This is Rafa. I've talked about this a bunch. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorites. Whenever I mention this, I always talk about the cushiony feel when you massage this in your skin. It's just simply stunning. Love it. This is also one that's very reasonably priced, especially for kind of the green beauty world where B, who's the formulator of H's for Love, uses very exquisite ingredients, and I think this is very reasonably priced for what you're going to get. And so I'll use, as you guys have heard me talk about a million times, when I use something like this, either a non-emulsifying oil or a balm, I love to use the Tata Harper Regenerating Cleanser on top of that, which then emulsifies that particular non-emulsifying cleanser off of it. And I just love this so much. I'm not going to go on and on and on about it, but what I was saying before is I will use the 20% off code at Sephora for this. So I was going to get it in the last, I've got a towel over here. I was going to use my 20% off code for the Tata Harper when they had it just, I don't know, a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But I realized, you know, I didn't need it, and I don't want to be buying things when I don't really need it right away. So I don't want to be like amassing products and just like storing them in my closet. So I figured I would just wait, and then I would get it in November when they have their 20% off. One thing I wanted to add, so these are really, you know, staples for me. One thing I wanted to add though, just real quick, is I do like having other varieties of cleansers, and a foaming cleanser that I'm really, really loving. And I do think this hasn't quite reached staple status yet because this is the first time I've used this, but this is the Wamasa Green Tea Foaming Cleansing Gel. This is a fantastic foaming cleanser. I really, really like it, and I do see it becoming a staple. So that's why I wanted to add this in, especially because it is very reasonably priced. I think this was in the low $20 range. You can get it at Target. So I really, really like this a lot. So I wanted to add this in. And then this is also going to be a staple in my family. This is the Jordan Samuel Matinee Gel Cleanser. This is not a foaming cleanser. What you do is you wet your skin and then you rub this in. It's unscented. It has salicylic acid in it. So this has been great for myself and also for my teenage son. So it's great for if you have acneic skin, and then it's also really good for, you know, skin like mine, if you just want to be able to, you know, with the salicylic acid, just be removing, you know, very gently removing, you know, just like that, just some dead skin cells. So it has just a gentle exfoliating action in it. So this is also another reasonably priced product. So I wanted to add that in here, that even it's kind of on the verge of becoming a staple, and it also fits the bill on being a well-priced product. Like I said, this is kind of like nighttime skincare. These are sort of like that midday, possibly nighttime cleanser if I just really feel like I need to, you know, if I've got a lot of grime that I just really want to be removing from my skin, or SPF, a lot of makeup, that kind of thing. So for nighttime, once I've cleansed my face, I will go back in with a toner, of course, which I love. Always use a toner at nighttime. And then just kind of gently pat, maybe do the toner 2 or 3 times. Then I've also been loving the, this is, let's see, what's this brand? Oh yeah, I can never remember. It's Yuri Pibu. This is their Serum ampoule. And I'll hold this up. I think I've talked about this. I talked about this when I was over at CJ's and we did a Korean skincare collaboration together. And then I think I talked about this, I know I talked about this in another video here on my own channel, and I can't remember which one it is, but I'm pretty sure I've talked about this once before. But as you can see, it's almost empty. It's getting there. And this is another one of those that's on the verge of becoming a staple. And the reason why I'm including it is because it is another one of those reasonably priced skincare items that I am just really loving. And it's an ampoule, and which means it's just like a serum that's very, very thin. It's very watery, and it is just power packed with ingredients. Again, I'm not going to go into the ingredients, but it just has fermented ingredients in it, and my skin just really loves it. And I feel like what it does is it just really boosts the power of whatever I'm putting on top of it. So typically then at nighttime, I will go in with an active serum. And as you guys know, I really love the Arcona Youth Serum. So this is a 20% L-ascorbic acid. And I feel like this is another one that's very well priced. I think this is about $68. I would not say that Arcona is a super strict, green beauty brand, but I feel like it is very, very clean for the most part. And, but you've got to read the ingredient list yourself. You can make sure it passes your tests, and not all of their, I wouldn't say that all of their products pass all my tests, but this one does. And I think I will always have this serum because I really do like having a serum that is just, it's the pure L-ascorbic acid. It's got the 20% L-ascorbic acid, which has so much data behind it. And I do like having it, and I like the texture, and it has been working really, really well for me. Now, if I had to pick only one, because again, we are talking about in this video as well, besides just, staples of mine that I really like having, we are talking about being responsible with money. And so if you're out there and you're looking for a vitamin C serum and you want to know if you were only gonna buy one, which one would I personally have? It would definitely be the Mala Apothecary, because I really love the vitamin C from the Kakadu plum. It is L-ascorbic acid that is in the Kakadu plum. I love supporting Monica. I think she's fantastic. She creates beautiful products. So this is the one I use most often, pretty much daily. I absolutely love it. So this is like the true staple. Love, love, love. You guys know I love it. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about that. But if you're just looking you want to know the exact percentage, 20% L-ascorbic acid, kind of the clinical brand, then this is your product. So if I want a oil with actives in it and I want to go for my retinol, then Jordan Samuel all the way. This is the Etoile with retinol. This is my first bottle of this, but this is definitely going to be a staple. I am loving this so much. I'll put the card up here wherever, but this is in my retinol, what did I call it? Sort of like my new retinol faves or something like that, but my retinol update video. So this is a new staple for me, and I can't imagine not buying this when it runs out. So what I do, sort of like the recap: wash my face, tone it, use this, use some sort of an active, whether or not it's a serum or an oil. If I have used a serum that is not oil-based, then I'll put an oil on, and that would be something like the Natural Logic oil that I've already talked about. Now, this would be a time where I might try something new that I am, discovering, or maybe somebody has sent me or that I have purchased. And a perfect example of this is the Flower and Spice Midnight Serum. So I am testing these out. You guys might have seen this on Instagram if you follow me over there. And I'm really enjoying this, and it's fitting in very seamlessly into my skincare routine. I've also been using this in the morning. So I have been really loving this underneath the Blissoma, the new Blissoma Photonic SPF, which maybe you saw me post that on Instagram as well. So that's also another way, in which I integrate new products in. I'm also testing the Flower and Spice Soothe and Repair Daily Moisturizer. So I might use it, but I've been using this more at nighttime. So if I'm feeling like I need something extra on top of the oil, or if I want to use a moisturizer instead of an oil, I will do that. The staple though that I've been using for a while now is the Natural Logic Omni Moisture Cream. You guys have seen this quite a bit. I love this product. The scent is gorgeous. That's what it looks like. So yeah, that's what I typically do. Use a cream over an oil, or maybe just use the cream instead of an oil. It just kind of depends on what I feel like my skin needs, how moisturized it's feeling. Yeah, so I just kind of take stock of what my skin is looking like, how it feels. If I really feel like I need to lock everything in, I am back enjoying balms again, which has been kind of nice because for a while there I wasn't really loving balms. And now I actually have a couple balms that I'm really, really enjoying. You guys have heard me talk about the Earthwise Yasuni face balm. So this is my first go around with the balm. So I can't say yes, definitively it is a staple, but again, I just wanted to let you guys know what I am doing with my skincare routine. I've been absolutely loving this balm. So right now it is part of my routine. We'll see if it becomes a long-term staple. And then I can finally talk to you guys about the Live Botanicals. What is this? This is their balanced whipped oil. It has blue tansy in it. And I didn't want to talk about this too soon because now that I've already done my October Art of Organics Clean Beauty Box review, I can talk to you about this now because I didn't want to, do any sneak peeks because I didn't want to do any giveaways of what might be in that box. But this is not in the box, but I actually met Carolyn, who's the formulator of Live Botanicals, and she was so kind and gave this to me to try. And this is another one of those balms that I am really, really loving. It's just, look at that nice light blue color. This is just one of those beautiful balms that's on the light side, not too heavy, but does a really wonderful job, again, of, when you are finished with your skincare routine and you just kind of want to lock things in with something beautiful, this works really well for that. And you can also use it, it's light enough that you can use it underneath foundation and it kind of gives that nice dewy glow. Oh, and then this is another one of those things that, what I just wanted to mention real quick in terms of incorporating something new. I typically do not get sucked in by the advertisements on Instagram. I just swipe and ignore them. But one thing that did catch my eye, I have to admit, it was the Biossance sample program, or just the samples that they offer, because I have really been curious about their squalane and peptide eye gel. So I went ahead and just bought it. I thought $5 for these two seemed like a good deal. You don't have to pay for shipping. So I did get these, and I've been integrating the eye gel into my routine. And so far so good. I've really been enjoying this. And then I got the squalane. This is just pure squalane oil. And one of their recommendations for it was to use it in your hair. And so I washed my hair yesterday, and then the only thing I used was the squalane oil. And actually, I think it did a pretty decent job. My hair is maybe feeling a little bit bigger than usual. I can make it get pretty big here, but I think maybe I need to use either a little bit more or possibly combine it with the, what is that stuff that I use? The milk. Whatever the Reverie Milk Leave-In Conditioner. I probably need to add a little bit of that as well. But anyway, that's how I'm using this. I'll report more back later. And then a couple of other staples that I really love. You guys know that I love Kahina. Their antioxidant mask is a definite staple of mine. I feel like it's one of those good sort of, quote unquote detox masks because it does have clay in here, but it's very gentle, it's very soothing. I never have to worry about it drying out my skin. So this is a definite staple of mine. And then a new staple is the Hanua Moana mask. This is just a gorgeous, beautiful mask. I really love this. And this is my first jar of it that I've ever had, but I will definitely be replacing this. And if you saw my video on the Art of Organics, you can, you know that I'm just in love with Hanua and everything that Kapua stands for. But yeah, if you haven't seen that video, my review of the Art of Organics, I will link that as well. So you should definitely check that out because this is just such a wonderful brand. So I know I kind of like jumped a little bit all over the place in terms of what this video is all about, but hopefully you learned a little bit more about my staples, what my skincare routine looks like overall, and then just, you know, how I integrate new products into my routine, and that I am really picky about what I do test, you know, PR that I do accept. And also that I just really do not ever want you to feel like I am just, you know, shilling product out to you guys, or feeling like you're pressured by me, like, oh, you got to try the latest and the greatest and this is amazing. And I want you guys to be responsible with your money and only purchase what you can afford. And also with my affiliate links, you know, if you want to use them, that's great. If you don't want to use them, that's totally fine. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, I'm comfortable with. You know, we're just all here to hopefully have some fun and learn from each other, and that's what my channel is all about. So thanks for bearing with me on this video. Again, I apologize for it being a little bit scattered, but hopefully the general gist and vibe of what I was trying to accomplish here makes sense to you all. So if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, please hit that subscribe button. That would be wonderful. And hopefully I managed to make some sense. And if I did, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.